Come on, wake up. Let's go. Oh, it is Sunday there. So you're maybe out late or possibly you're getting ready to go to mass. So it may not have been a good time to be doing a live. Likely should have been doing a live later on. But I'm live, so it's an open forum. So if you have questions that you'd like to chat about, share and we will chat. It was such a beautiful day here. I was actually out all day doing yard work. So it wasn't that mild, but it was very sunny. It was a nice sunny day, which was good. Cleaning up after the ice, that freezing ice storm that we had here in Canada. What a nightmare that was. Power was out for many days. But the big problem was a lot of damage to a lot of older, very mature trees. A lot of them already had buds on them. So anyone who's not from Canada, the trees hibernate. So they go to sleep in the wintertime here. And then in the springtime, they start to have buds, and then those buds will turn into leaves. Well, what happened was is the buds were the size of the end of your thumb, and then we had this crazy ice storm. So imagine it raining and that turning to ice because it just got to a certain temperature. So then what happened is all the branches, all the buds were accumulating all of this water and it was turning to ice, which ended up doing extreme weight to all those branches. And because they had a lot of buds on them, those buds ended up adding even more weight to the branches. So trees were falling down, unrooted from the ground, snapping off away up high. It was very dangerous. Trees all over the place, and then power lines going down. And we even had our actual provider for our cell phones were all down because you have towers. So you have towers in specific areas for you to actually be able to get your reception. So those towers were also down. So didn't have any means of communication. Phone was down, power was down. Imagine you go to bed and everything is good. You can hear the storm outside and you can hear stuff falling and you can hear trees cracking, which is pretty scary on its own. You go to bed. I went to bed at 10 o'clock and I woke up. I don't know what time. It was dark, no power, and cold in my house. I do have a gas fireplace, but I don't usually have the gas fireplace on. So all the power is out. You're now walking in the dark and it's cold and you can still hear all the cracking going outside. Got a light, saw what time it was. It was early. Went back into bed where it's nice and warm. Couldn't sleep, saying I got to get stuff done. So got back up. And then I ended up trying to light the fireplace, which I haven't had that fireplace. I likely haven't used that fireplace 5 years. So you can imagine something you haven't used in 5 years. Now you have to figure out, okay, how do I get this going with no power? Because they usually have electronic igniter, which means you need power. And this is an older fireplace. And anyways, it's not something that I installed. It was with the house. So I'm trying to figure this out in the dark with a flashlight. cold, didn't figure it out. It was still very dark. I didn't have my headlamp. So I decided to, I don't know, I think I just had some breakfast and waited for it to get light outside. And when it got light outside, oh my goodness, what a mess. Then I ended up going into the garage and I have a generator, a Honda generator. Haven't used that generator. I don't know, 15 years, likely around that time. But when I used it the last time, I ran it dry out of fuel, which is very important for you to do that. You got to run it out. Otherwise, you got to get that fuel out and you still got to run it dry. So I put new fuel in it. Thank goodness I had fuel. Put fresh fuel in, two or three pulls, and it started right up. Thank goodness. So now I don't have the generator hooked up to the house. I don't have a panel. Now I got to get some heaters. And in the garage, it's dark. So I ended up tried to open the garage door, but there was a lot of ice, so I didn't want to do any damage. So finally found my headlamp, got that on, and had to go into storage area and found some cube heaters. Got those cube heaters out. Got extension cords running into the house. Actually, backing up, I actually got the door open to end up having the gas generator running because you don't want to run that in a concealed area. So I ran some electrical cords into the house. First thing is got some cube heaters going just to get some heat happening in the home. I forget what the temperature was. It was cold in the house. Then got another extension cord, pull out the refrigerator, hooked up the refrigerator. So my refrigerator is a refrigerator freezer combo. Everything was good. There was no issues, but I wanted to get that plugged in because there's food in there and don't want it to go bad. You don't know how long the power is going to be out. So I think next I was trying to go back to communicating. Couldn't communicate with anyone because that cell tower was down. Uh, everything, communication, no power, no nothing, right? So you're kind of, nothing's happening. So then I proceeded to try to get that fireplace, gas fireplace up and going. I have no internet, so I can't look it up on the internet how to get it going. Oh my goodness. And there's a valve for turning off the gas, and I was pretty sure that I would have turned the gas off and not left it on. Well, I don't even know if I have the gas on or I have it off, and you got to put your arm around. And I got like a little mirror type of thing trying to get the flashlight to see if I have it on or not. Oh my goodness, that was a challenge. So the first day, I actually didn't get that fireplace going for a few days. So I think it was day 2 or day 3 when I finally got the fireplace working. And it's because of that electronic igniter. So I had to do a manual light, right? So then the brain clicked. It clicked. It said, "Oh, plug it into the generator, and then you'll have that power." I think my mind was frozen because I wasn't thinking of, okay, it needs power. Plug it in, and then you have power. Took 3 days to figure that out. I think it was all the stress and anxiety that I was dealing with. So yeah, so I got it plugged in. Boom, started right up. Wow. Only took me 3 days to figure that out to plug it in the generator. Oh, the joys. Anyways, got that going. So finally, I got some heat, and it's got a fan on it, and started getting some heat in the place. Once it was up and going, all it needed was that initial electrical for the igniter to go, and then just very low power for the fan to operate to blow. So at the top of the fireplace, it blows out. So that was all up and going now on the third day, I believe it was. So finally got some. I had those little block heaters, they're called little micro heaters. They really throw a lot of heat off, but I was no way leaving them on overnight when I was sleeping. Just too risky. So now I got the fireplace going. It's quickly the house is pretty good size home. So where the fireplace is kind of just right over there, but there's a lot of other areas in the house, so there's no fans to get it to that other area. It's got to kind of gradually travel. And I don't have any fans to blow it over. And remember, I'm only running off the generator. And so, anyways, I got the fireplace going now. Got some heat coming in. That's the third day. Was out barbecuing, which was pretty scary because all you hear is the cracking and banging and smashing and trees coming down. And I tried to get the generator around the back. So I have a garage and I have a back door that comes around the backyard. Tried to open that door, but I have a storage shed just a little bit away from it. It's got a metal roof with a big maple tree above it. Well, it's dropping ice and limbs. It's like shooting bullets against the house. So I couldn't get the generator out to that area, which really kind of sucked because I had to have my garage door open with the generator facing out because you don't want to have the generator running in a concealed area because of carbon monoxide. You die. So finally, I was able, I don't know when, you lose track of time with all the stuff that you're dealing with. Finally was able to get it out the back. Uh, so it was underneath my gazebo where my barbecue is. So then I could run the electrical cords through the window and get my garage door back down. So the garage door, they have an emergency cord where you pull it down and disengages from the motor so you can manually push up the door. So a lot of people don't know that. So if you have a powered garage door, and if you ever have problems with power, there's usually a cord and you just pull that cord and it disengages it, and then you manually have to put your door up. So I was able to get that door down, and generator, everything's all operating. Fireplace is operating. Wow. Within a day, the temperature in my home went up to 65, which was good because it was in the low 50s prior to that. Food, no problems. I had lots of food, as I mentioned, going out and barbecued. I actually even used the kettle out at the very beginning to boil water. Wow, does a kettle ever draw a lot of electricity? That's power from the generator. I had to actually unplug everything from the generator just to boil that water. I was shocked. I could have actually boiled it on my barbecue, have a side burner, but remember all that ice is dropping and scary branches coming down. Like we're talking branches the size of your leg in diameter, and they kill you. They're coming from like 60 feet up in the air and they're breaking off with all this weight of the ice and coming down. Yeah, you don't want to be walking out there. So if you check out my videos, you see lots of videos. I've done one of the storm, sharing it. I've done a lot of shorts. So you can see actually how bad it was. I actually even did one with me barbecuing. I was doing some prime rib hamburgers. I haven't had those in a long time. So then it finally started to ease up. It started to get a little bit milder. I think it was on day 4. I really have lost track of the time. Then it went up. Then it was showing it was going to get really mild. And the next morning, when I woke up, you wouldn't even know there was an ice storm. You wouldn't know there was freezing ice. I think it was 15 or 16 that day. So everything had melted. Everything. No more. Again, you wouldn't know that we had that storm. But the destruction, wow. Yeah. You definitely knew we had a storm. Like down just a little bit down the street, the whole road was blocked by huge trees. You tried to drive anywhere, huge trees. I was trying to get fuel for for my Honda generator, and a lot of the stations, their pumps weren't working because they need electricity. So I was lucky I had enough fuel while I was using it, because once I ended up getting the fireplace going, I shut down the cubes because the cubes actually draw a lot, and I just had the fan operational on the gas fireplace and the refrigerator freezer combo, and the fridge isn't always pulling power. So I was getting a tank. So out of I think it's 5 gallons of gas, I was getting, with it kind of on idle like that, 2 days. So I was fortunate that I had a couple cans. So then I ended up trying to drive, once it was like that, mild, to go get some fuel. I couldn't get out of the area. All the roads were blocked with trees. And so I had to come back home. Still didn't have any internet connection, no power still. So finally, I don't know which day it was, I was able to go out, and I went to Costco, and a half an hour from, well, no, 20 minutes from where I am, you wouldn't even really have known that there was a storm. You wouldn't have known. So the gas stations there, everything was operational. Went into Costco, uh, filled up my gas cans. Wow. I think I went through, just in with the generator, I think it was like around $300 worth of fuel for that generator, unexpectedly, right? So I didn't need to go into Costco for anything. I wasn't wanting to go in Costco anyways. So then back home, got fuel now, and went outside looking at all the damage. Wow. I have a lot of gorgeous maples on my property, and birch trees. I lost birch tree. I lost a great big spruce Christmas tree that was likely about 30 feet, 30, 40 feet tall. It fell right between my snowmobile trailer and where I have my boat protected from the weather. Thank goodness. It fell right in between. Unbelievable. And if you look at the videos, you'll see once the got mild, the tree tried to stand back up. It was likely about 5 feet off of the ground, but there's no way it could stand up because it was unrooted. So unrooted means that all the roots were out of the ground. So unfortunately, I had to cut that tree up. So now goes the time of starting to do cleanup. Lots of cleanup. Thank goodness I have my own chainsaw. And again, chainsaw. No, I think I used it in 2024. So a few poles, again, fresh fuel in there. Always remember if you have anything and you're going to be away for a while, obviously not your vehicle, but when you have anything of a two-stroke or generator, always run it dry. That's what I've been taught. And then normally it'll all start up relatively easy. So chainsaw, a couple pulls, started right up and got to her. Well, there's a lot of cutting. Now, once you do that cutting, what are you going to do with all that wood and all those branches? You got to get all those off your property. So that was a lot of work doing that. So as I mentioned today, I'm still doing it. And that is now, I guess, a week later. I'm still doing cleanup. So, and I'll be picking branches, and there's a lot of branches hanging up in the trees that are dangerous. So I'll have to hire somebody to come and an arborist professional to go up in the trees to cut those down. But there's quite a few. So today was a day outside doing yard work, cleaning up after that huge storm. And I don't remember when the power came on now. Finally, the power came on. 5 days, 6 days, something like that. And then able to use internet, use a cell phone. I couldn't even use a cell phone. It's terrible. What a system. We've gone into 2025 and we lose all connection to the world with all these devices. It's pretty sad when you think about it. Way back, we had rotary phones. You didn't have to worry about power. You just spin the dial and you talk. Now it's all electronical and everything. When it goes bad, it goes bad. It's just like in the Philippines. You have a brownout. Actually, even when we have brownouts, still a lot of times, a lot of phones will work with certain providers, but sometimes they don't. Especially if you have Wi-Fi and there's a modem. So yeah, if you're on Wi-Fi and there's a modem, you're out of luck. You got to be on load. And then depending on that provider that you're using, that could be still an issue also. So that's one of the major issues I notice the Philippines when visiting is, well, I've been Dumaguete, Siquijor, Bohol, places like that. There's problems with cell phones, communication. Uh, so internet seems to be a problem there. And brownouts, right? Still lots of brownouts. We don't usually have brownouts here. We have a storm and trees fall down on those wires, or the wires are full of ice and the transformers are full of ice, then guess what? The power goes down. And that's what happened. I don't remember the last time, I don't know how long ago it was we had an ice storm. I don't remember an ice storm while I've lived here this bad. Prior to where I lived, I had an ice storm just as bad, but power was restored. I think it was actually about a week too. We had problems with power there too. Yeah, I think it was bad. It was really bad, but didn't lose any trees. Not like here. It was scary. I didn't even dare walk outside. Like we're talking, you imagine looking at trees that are, you know, 50, 60 feet tall and the tops are breaking off, the huge branches and trees are just all of a sudden falling down. That's pretty darn scary, right? You know, even when I was actually out today cleaning, there was branches, some branches still falling down, and when they fall down, they stick in the ground. So if they hit you, you kind of like they stick in you. So I made sure I wear a hard hat and a heavy duty jacket. I don't know. I don't know if it would have helped if something hit me, but I didn't get hit. So I guess I lucked out. So I have some flowers coming up finally. Um, some crocus. So here in Canada, springtime, we have a lot of crocus that come up, different little colored flowers. So some of those are coming up. Lots of growth, lots of all kinds of flowers are already coming up. It's magical here in Canada. Uh, we have that winter, and then we have the spring. So wintertime, everything goes to sleep, and it looks like it's dead, but it's just sleeping. It's like a bear. So a bear here in Canada, it goes into hibernation. It's just like when you go to sleep. You're not dead. You're just sleeping, and then you wake up. So everything is now waking up. We had a couple of very nice mild days. Then it snowed again, and then we had cold days. So it's been a crazy spring. Today was half decent, as I mentioned. Tomorrow is supposed to be going up to 15, which is very nice here. So that will be nice. I got to go back out and do more yard work. And also, I got to get my chicken wire up around specific areas so all the rabbits don't eat everything. The rabbits are hungry and they'll eat everything. Tulips are coming to eat it all. I remember sitting here last year. I think I was doing it live and I was looking out my front window and I have an area of tulips. And I bought these bulbs from Beck's, and it's not inexpensive. You pay quite a bit of money for these bulbs, and you got to plant them in the fall, and then in the spring they come up. And tulips are very delicate to rain and everything, so they don't really last that long. So, anyways, I'm sitting here, I think doing it live, and I'm looking out the window, and I'm like, I see a tulip that is about knee high, so about 2 feet, with a big, gorgeous tulip. Doop. I'm like, yeah, no, I didn't see that. I'm losing it. And I see another one. I'm like, are you kidding me? No, I saw that. So I go out, friggin' rabbit, two of them, two rabbits out there, and they're not eating it. I wouldn't care if they're eating the whole thing, but they're just eating the bottom. Boom, there goes the tulip. It's dead. So I didn't have fencing around it, so I wasn't very happy about that. So I got to do that tomorrow. Chicken wire and rebar. So I have chicken wire that I put it around, and I have rebar that I feed it through it and drive it into the ground to protect my plants. So at least I can enjoy some of them. Never mind the squirrels. So the squirrels, my neighbor next door, uh, David, thanks for the flowers. Gorgeous. Those lilies, those lily trees and the tulips, they're just stunning. Thank you so much, David. You know why they're saying thank you? Because the freaking squirrels dug them up and then went and dug and planted them in their home because they're hiding them for the winter or wherever. So all of a sudden they've got flowers coming up from my tulips. Ah, the joys of wildlife. If you live where I am, I have a lot of wildlife. So suck it up. But it is annoying though. uh, So tomorrow, I still got some trees I got to cut. I've got 3 trees that have fallen down that I still have to cut up with a chainsaw. So again, cutting up isn't so bad. It's removing everything, and everything is heavy and big, and you got to remove everything. That's the work. It's a lot of work, especially by yourself. I'm doing it all by myself. So I'll get those trees cut up tomorrow. And actually, where my storage is, where my implements are for Big Johnny, I have a lot of tree branches there from that big maple that I mentioned to you. I've got them all cut up and sitting there piled up. So I got to get rid of all those. You can only carry so many of these branches, right? Like they're pretty big, even though you have them cut up. So I got to clean that mess up tomorrow in that area, get those trees cut up, and then get that chicken wire put up around where the flowers will be coming. Mainly one section where there's tulips, another area where there's lily type trees. So last year, I was silly about the tulips that I'd mentioned. This year, I'll make sure I get it fenced off properly. And I can't leave that chicken wire up all winter long because it's close to my driveway. And when it snows, if I'm snow blowing or cleaning the driveway, you can hit the wire and all kinds of problems. So I remove it in the fall. So hopefully tomorrow will be a good day weather-wise, and I will be able to get some of those things done. A bit of damage in the place, in my place, the skylight because of all this ice and water on it. Did a little bit of leak damage, so I have to do some repair. It's just because it was major weight, and the skylight isn't designed for that. So a little bit of water damage. So I'll do that repair. The only thing sucks is I gotta re-prime and that area and then repaint the whole freaking ceiling just because of that. But it is what it is. It's the joys of owning a home. Oh, then 2 days ago, after everything's kind of back up and kind of normal, 2 days ago, I go, I haven't had a shower yet. And I didn't wash dishes the night before. So I went to go wash the dishes. I have no hot water. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I have a Bosch on demand water system. I used to have a hot water tank, but when I bought this home, I got rid of that hot water tank and I got one of those on demand units. The one I got was a Bosch. Well, I go and open the door, look, and it's got a code on it. I'm like, okay, what's the code? I don't know what the code is, so it's not working. I power it down, figure out how to open the case on it. It's just 2 screws, but the screws underneath, get it open. And I notice dead wasp all inside. Um, other like almost like mosquitoes, but I don't know, some type of fly, but a lot of yellow jackets. And then where the vent comes down and the fan, there's an intake and an outtake. The outtake, I see a beehive pieces have dropped down and blocking the intake. No, yeah, the intake. No, the outtake. Outtake. I don't know. It was either intake or outtake. I think it was the outtake. It was the outtake blowing out. So water was coming down, condensation. Had to clean that up. Went out, got paintbrush, which I use for dusting. Got the vacuum, shot back, and proceeded to get that all cleaned up. Once I got that all cleaned up, put her back together, started right up. It was shutting down because of the blockage, which is good. It's safety, right? So because it's on demand, there's nothing to wait for the heat like in a hot water tank. Hot water tank has to fill up, and then you end up getting the water from that tank, right? So I went back to the sink, and on demand. Would I ever do it again? Nope. Because with an on demand, the way it works is when you turn the water on, it takes a while for the cold water or the warm water to come. Now I know that is similar to a hot water tank, but the hot water tank has it in reserve where the on demand has to feed the water all through all these lines and then shoot it out to you. So the kitchen is very close to where this unit is. The unit's only likely maybe 15 feet away. So it wasn't so bad. But showers, bathrooms, they are like 100 feet away, and it sucks. You got to turn the water on. So just think about all the water that you're wasting. You're wasting a lot of water, right? Just to get it warm, and then it will go very hot. So I would never do an on-demand water heater again myself, and they're expensive. For that Bosch, I think it was around $6,000 I paid for that, where I could have had a water heater for a couple hundred. So just because it's the latest and greatest doesn't mean it's better, right? So that was very interesting. What else? Hmm. Oh, drywall. So here, construction here in Canada is wood, and most of our finishes are drywall and they're tape joints. Well, I got a lot of cracks, and I got a lot of cracks because of the heat, no heat, and then heat coming back on. Even though I have lots of insulation up in the attic, it got really cold, like really cold. So now I've got to doing some repairs already. I'm gonna have to prime and repaint everything. So that means you got to move everything. Oh, yes. Anyways, I wasn't finished painting, but even trim around the windows, the corners are cracked. It's amazing what happens in regards of moisture, changes in the house, movement. It's the joys of owning a home. You have ongoing maintenance. And then out front, I'm right across from the lake. We have what's called a culvert. Some people will call it a ditch, but what happens is that it runs the water, excessive water, and it runs it in front of all our homes, and then it goes down to an area, and then it shoots out to the lake. Well, would you believe it? The city, who we pay property taxes for, don't go and check the grate which allows the water. I'm looking at our driveways. There's so much other stuff going on, right? Dealing with stuff, the anxiety and all the stress and the shock and everything. Your mind's not thinking. And I'm like looking. I'm looking at the. I've never had so much water out front. So I decided let's go down here and see what's going on. Well, they're all blocked. Branches in there, leaves are in there from all the stuff breaking down. I get down to the main area down here where it's the main to go. The water, you can't even see the culvert. It's a big round, a culvert's a big round cylinder pipe. And the water's trying to rush in there. So I was lucky about a half an hour getting all the big branches and everything else. Oh my goodness! As soon as I got stopped broken, whoosh, the water was just all flowing, going through there, man. It was like unbelievable the pressure. So it's like water coming this way, water coming this way. Within 2 days, the water dropped half of the height of what it was out there just because of that. So why didn't the city, somebody through the city, go around and check these? Come on, common sense, right? I would think, anyways. They didn't, they're not paying me to do that. Obviously, I did it for free. Also, going and taking care of some of my neighbor's tree. My next door neighbor, they were away. They were lucky. They were, I don't know. Oh, they were in Cuba. They were in Cuba enjoying when we had the ice storm. And they got back and it was all done. They lost a big tree. It fell into their area. I had to pull that out and cut it all up. They had quite a few branches and that on their property too that I cut up, cleaned up a lot of it. But it took them quite a few days to get down here. The road opened up. It was a few weeks. Hi, how are you doing? Howie Media, thanks for joining. Appreciate it. How are you doing today? Where are you from? Share where you're from. So, anyways, going back to this, what was I saying? Oh, those big trees down there, they're one of the last things to get removed because they're big. You'll see in the videos, they're big trees. And they blocked the whole road and they're up against wires and that. So they got them done. So that was good, right? You know, so that was the excitement. Lots of excitement there, man. uh, so you can see I've had lots of fun. And if you watch the videos, you will see what I'm talking about. Boy, I haven't used been live, and it's I'm pretty slow using it. So it's the joys. So as I mentioned, tomorrow is supposed to get really nice. So tomorrow will be it's Saturday here, 9:28 p.m. So they're calling for nice weather for Sunday and Monday actually. So I'm hoping to get those trees cleaned up, get those areas all protected, so my friendly little animals don't eat everything on me. Thank goodness I ended up having some bird seed when we had that freezing rain. Poor birds. You imagine them having to deal with that? Can you imagine? Where did the birds go? Like, it must have been just so scary for them. Nowhere safe. So I was out there. I have a bird feeder and I have a few different stations on it. So I was able to clean the ice off. There was already still some seed in there. I had some suet, which is more for the woodpeckers. So I had the suet in there already. So I cleaned the ice off because they couldn't even hold on to be able to eat. So boy, when I ended up getting everything all cleaned up, oh my goodness, they were needing that food. They were happy for that. Got to take care of you know our little feathery friends, right? And when I went into Costco, I bought a 50-pound bag of black sunflower seeds, which is very good for them. And that's what I've been putting in there. Every day, I have been refilling the cylinders. I'm out of suet right now, but every day refeeding. So that's how much the birds are eating right now. And I've had a couple of pretty cool, nice, good sized downy woodpeckers. And I'm not sure the name of the one woodpecker that just came in. It was a good size with a really bright red head, and also having the male and female red cardinals come in. So the male is the bright red, and the female is more kind of beige to be camouflaged. So that's nice to see that. And some yellow finches coming in, chickadees. And all of a sudden now the squirrels are out and about because the birds are flicking seed onto the ground, and then the squirrels will eat that. When I got back from the Philippines, I actually saw in the backyard a coyote. So coyote, it's wild animal, right? Raccoons, I saw. They're all scared of you. You don't have to worry about them attacking you, but you still want to be smart. Uh, oh, let's talk when I got back from the Philippines. So I had a late flight from the Philippines, and I got home at 11:30 approximately p.m. at nighttime. So there was this big snowstorm that happened 2 weeks prior to me coming home. OMG. It's the most snow ever had here, ever. And it was a freak snowstorm. I was lucky enough that my neighbors, when I wasn't traveling to the Philippines, I've been going to the Philippines now for a few years. All winter long, if we had any bad snow, I would always take care of their driveways with Big Johnny. You can see my videos. You'll see Big Johnny. It's a John Deere tractor, all enclosed. It's a 3046 deluxe cab. It's got heat, radial. I got the big snow blower on it, the box scraper on the back. Four wheel, two wheel, whatever, however you want to have it engaged. Anyways, they snow blowed a pathway from the road to the garage door. OMG. When I pulled up in the ride that I got from the airport, guy goes to me, sir, I won't be able to get through there. I started laughing because it was like maybe, I don't know, 40 inches wide pathway. It was funny because it was some areas chest high in snow, waist high, chest high. Anyways, I got to the garage door. So just imagine, I've been in the Philippines for many months. I'm kind of acclimatized to the Philippines. Now I've come back to a storm. I don't got winter boots. I really don't have a heavy duty winter jacket. I don't have a winter hat. I don't have winter mitts. And I'm definitely not climatized for this freaking crazy weather here. Well, I walk there and I have a code to get in my garage. Garage door is not open. I'm like, are you kidding me? I go to open the front door. The locks are frozen. Can't get in the front door. So the only way to get in my house, this is now 11:30 at night in the dark, is I got to walk around my whole house. Do you remember how deep that snow is? There's no paths. There are no paths. I had to walk around the whole entire house to get in the back and hoping that I could get in the back. I will never forget that. One area I had snow up to my chest. Runners on, jeans on, and a very light jacket. No gloves, no hat, no real winter gear, and walking around the house in the dark. Oh, yeah. No fun. At one point, I was wondering, am I going to survive? Because I was getting cold, guys, because what happens is your temperature drops, right? So I got around, thank goodness, and I got the door open, thank goodness. Oh my goodness, I was so lucky. So I got in the house. Took me quite a while to get warmed up. Also, when I left, I didn't have my heat turned right up. I had it off, like turned down. So the house wasn't as warm as it usually would be. So it took a while, not very long actually, because I have a Lexus top of line furnace. So it kind of goes in turbo. As soon as you put the temperature up, it goes in turbo to warm the house up fast. So likely within a half an hour, the house was warmed up back up to like feeling 74. And yeah, that was quite the experience showing up at the end of my driveway. And it's a long driveway. If you look at my videos, you'll see it's a good sized driveway. Can you imagine? It's a tunnel to get to your house, and then you can't get in your house. Oh, the joys, man. What we do for entertainment. And then imagine after all that, then I had that freaking ice storm. Oh my goodness. I think the Philippines has called me back. I miss the Philippines. I love the Philippines. The Philippines is an amazing place. Also with a little bit of stress, relationship stress, unfortunately. You know, very unfortunate that relationship kind of fell apart. Don't get too much of it because the person who I was in a relationship was an amazing person, but she just had an over the top jealousy issue, which it just got to me, and I begged her and begged her to stop, just stop, please, just stop, because it was ruining. It was just oh, bringing back the memories of all the happiness. I've never been with somebody in my life uh, that was over the top jealousy. I'd never experienced that. A little bit of jealousy, okay, but over the top jealousy, I had never experienced something like that. And I never want to experience something like that again. I really felt sorry for her. I didn't know how to fix her. And you're not supposed to fix somebody, and I didn't know what to do. Anyways, I will never forget her, but it ruined our relationship, unfortunately. Uh, I I kept trying and trying and trying, uh, but you don't plan it. But resentment kicked in. And once the resentment kicked in, I could no longer look at her the same way anymore. And yeah, it was bad. It was not good. So, real shame. I know she didn't plan it. So, if she is out there, I hope her and wish her the best because she is an incredible lady. But I hope and pray with her next relationship that she can control her jealousy issues. I don't know if anyone's ever been with somebody that's over the top jealous. Myself never being in that, I my situation was that when I'm in a relationship, I'm 100% committed, loyal 100%. It's a monogamous relationship. You don't cheat, period. Because the damage that it does to people is terrible. I've seen it and what it's done to people. So I despise people who cheat. So when you despise people who cheat, you don't do it yourself, and you just would never do that. It would be you break up first before you would do anything like that because you don't want to do any damage. Well, my situation was unfortunately that I kept getting blamed. Hummingbird, in did you left your girlfriend in the Philippines and you're back to the winter wonderland? No, I actually flew back with my now ex-girlfriend. I brought her back to the Philippines. I promised her and her family, and I brought her back to the Philippines, and I was still trying to get away from I was still trying with her, but the jealousy uh, just didn't stop. So unfortunately, we broke up permanently. But even that being said and done, I made sure financially she had a large sum. And also, I helped her move to her new place, set stuff up, uh, went shopping with her to get things that she wanted to get. So I was there 100%. I just couldn't be with her anymore because when you're constantly falsely accused of doing cheating and stuff that you're not doing, it gets to you. And unfortunately, resentment set in for me, which I've never kind of had that. And that was unfortunately the end of our relationship. I even tried, anyways, I don't want to get into it. She's a good person. I don't know what happened to her. Um, but it was sad. She just wouldn't stop. I begged her, and she would say, "I'm sorry," and crying, and I would stop. I won't ever do it again. I know you're not doing it. She's with me. How could I be cheating? She's with me, right? Just something crazy got in her. I don't know, like a Jekyll and Hyde type thing. She'd just snap. She'd just be like the flick of a switch. I was on live while she was here in Canada, and she got up later and she's, "Oh, you're talking to your girlfriend, right? And I was live. I wasn't talking to my girlfriend. If I went to the washroom, oh, you're talking to your girlfriend. What are you talking about? I don't even have a phone with me. Anyways, she's a good girl, amazing woman, but she just unfortunately had this jealousy, over the top issue. Uh, uh, there was never ever even a thought of cheating. Never. I loved her. So when I brought her to see my parents and did a visa and brought her all the way to Canada, if I was going to be cheating, like, come on, common sense, right? Like, what guy is going to go to the Philippines, right, and go through the whole journey of in the Philippines of having to get uh, a visa, which means you have to go to embassy, doing all this stuff, and then bringing her to your own country, meeting your family, and you're cheating? Yeah, no, that's not going to end up. That would never happen. So anyway, she is an incredible lady. I hope her. I wish her all the best. She posted recently that she's met a new guy. I hope he's good to her. You know, not much else I can say in relation to that. It's been tough for me in the aspect that on my channel, it was her and I, right? So I'm having to go through my channel. I'm losing a lot of watch hours, and I'm losing a lot of subscribers because of that, because I'm deleting videos. So I'm losing those watch hours. Uh, Also, I've lost 300 subscribers, so I don't know what she's sharing. I don't know why those people would have unsubscribed. They're all people that we knew. It's their choice. So I come back to Canada. I have to still deal with her being here because I had purchased a lot of items and that for her while she was here in Canada. So I'm packaging that all up and I'll be shipping that back to her. But you just imagine you have to emotionally deal with that stuff, right? If you didn't love somebody, it would be not so hard. But if you love somebody, it's very challenging, right? And while she was here, I bought her a bicycle, and she watched the videos. Well, I've deleted videos, so I don't even know if there are any more videos of her and I riding bikes or anymore. So, I got a bike here, a mountain bike I bought her. I will be doing. Want to try to find, somebody that really is in need of a bike, but just moving it around in the garage, it's like, yeah, it's not easy. And her hair, oh my goodness. I don't want to say her name, but your hair, she has long hair. Oh my goodness. I'm still picking up your hair. I got to laugh though. I got to break the ice, right? I'm still picking up the hair in my house. Oh my goodness. Uh, yeah. So I just wish her the best, like I said, and I hope this guy's good to her. Uh, I did meet somebody. I wasn't planning on meeting anybody. And the person that I've met in the Philippines, uh, yeah, she's an incredible lady. Yeah, just a total 360. Uh, yeah. So, Hummingbird, that is too bad. It is a big loss for her. Hope you will meet the right woman. Enjoy life. You will definitely find one and travel again. Thank you. I really appreciate that. As I was just sharing just now, you know what? She didn't plan it, so I don't want to put her at fault. Hummingbird, I don't want to do that to her. Um, she didn't plan it. Like it's a sickness. So if you look it up psychology wise, at any age, you can be over the top jealousy, and it's just it's a sickness. Like again, like she really honestly didn't plan it. It was like a flick of a switch. We could be sitting here, and then all of a sudden she starts crying and going. Yeah, I don't want to get into it. So please don't blame her. Um, it is yeah, just yeah. Don't blame her. I'm not blaming her. I'm mad at her, right? But you move on. So I have moved on, and wasn't planning on, like I said, meeting anyone because when I ended up actually, I got divorced. I think it was 5 to 6 years before I met my ex-girlfriend. So it took me that long, and I just stayed single to recover from it. So the amazing lady that I've met now, we just started to chat, and it was totally unplanned. And yeah, it's she's incredible. So I do have a girlfriend, uh, and yeah, she is amazing. You'll see on the new videos her, and again, not comparing the two. I'm not looking to compare. But for me personally, a 360, total 360, right? I don't have any of those issues that I was, excuse me, dealing prior with. And that's what I needed because it's grounded me. My new girlfriend is an incredible woman with a big heart. So I'm very fortunate to have met her. And I can't wait to be back with her, which I already have my flight booked, as she knows, to be back. So, yeah, so meeting my new girlfriend. She has an amazing daughter, 12 years of age. She's incredible. She is graduating honors on Monday, and she'll be going into grade 7. So I'm very proud of her, and she's a good kid. She's smart. She's gonna go places. So my girlfriend's family that I've met, all very nice. Her mama is very nice. So yeah, I'm very fortunate. I'm fortunate. It was not planned. Definitely not planned. So yeah, we've been having a lot of fun together, doing things. She's educating me, going out doing searching for sea urchins. She was actually doing that last night. She went with friends and they were out there when low tide and getting sea urchins. I actually have never picked sea urchins in my life, and you'll see a video of where I'm in Bohol and we're picking sea urchins and eating them and that. And that was it's very educational. She's a great teacher. She's you know, yeah, she's a hard worker. I'm very proud of her. Yeah. So yeah, she's amazing woman. We have our own great journey that we're building upon, and yeah, we just don't have. It's good. Yeah, I just want to leave it at that. Pretty amazing. So yeah, so I'll be going. I'm waiting to get back to the Philippines. I miss the Philippines. I miss my girlfriend, but I miss the Philippines in general. I'm. I kind of. I think it's because of coming back here and everything that I kind of dealt with. It was just a crap. It was like, dang, like we're gonna put you through lots of pain. You're gonna deal with all the snow, then you're gonna have the ice storm you're gonna deal with your trees that you love are gonna get all you're gonna lose some, some are gonna get a lot of damage, and it's just been nonstop for me. And then I ended up doing a show that I do for my business, a 10-day show, and the attendance was a way down, way down the attendance. It was terrible. And then the people who I did have potential chatting with, to that I was going to be signing, all of a sudden, because of what's going on in the US with Trump, they said, we got to hold on. We are losing a lot of money right now, so we got to hold off. I'm like, are you kidding me? So, on top of that, I'm getting to deal with that crap too. So, it's really, it's worldwide affecting. I don't want to get into the politics. I don't like politics at all, uh, but it's causing havoc, a lot of havoc. I've had actually a lot of stress since I've been back in Canada. Yeah, a lot of stress. My dad had his second knee surgery. I got a call from my message from message. You need to come up right now. Your dad is fallen. He's in an emerge in the hospital. 2 hours away. So I had to go, obviously, go for that. Just the stress and anxiety of dealing with that. My dad is okay now. He's doing a lot better. He had a reaction to either uh, he had some type of reaction to the painkillers or something that came, and yeah, it was not good. It was, and he's older, and my mom is old. Anyways, it was not good. So that stress on top of it all. So yeah, since I've been back to Canada, it hasn't been very exciting for me. Not at all. Not at all. But we all have our problems. We all have to stay strong, right? And we just have to keep going forward, right? That's what we got to do. You fall down, stand up, dust yourself off, and keep on going and be positive, right? So that's how I look at things. And every morning when you wake up, be happy you woke up. I've got my health, I got food, I got a roof over my head. Be happy for what you have, right? So that's what's kind of been going on lately. Wasn't planning on talking about the relationship, but that's I wasn't doing any type of thing on YouTube, so it's good that that's done. So again, please I know that it's a big loss for her, but you know what? Uh, I just want the best for her, and she's a good person. So subscribe to her channel, support her. You know, she's a worker too, man. She doesn't give up. Things aren't easy for people that are you know in the Philippines, right? You know, she has a big heart, so support her channel. Plans for I'm looking forward to start getting miles so I can get out on my mountain bike, start doing some biking. I miss that. I haven't been doing walking either. I miss that because my girlfriend and I were always walking all the time, so I haven't been doing that since I've been back. So my body is looking forward to get back out walking and biking. The biking is low impact, right? So it's easier on the body than the walking here. So I'm looking forward to doing that. I'd like to sign a couple big jobs that I was working on because I love designing, and that would keep my mind preoccupied and doing things that I like to do, designing, making people's dreams come true. It's pretty bad when you've put a lot of hours in on a couple large projects and you're ready to sign. I had one that I was going there. Literally, I already had booked that day to be going to sign the contract. And they called me hours in the morning sharing that we have to unfortunately put a hold on this because we've lost a lot of money. And I was just like, are you kidding me? I likely put about 40 hours into this project already. Contract is all ready to be signed. It is what it is, right? Then the next day, number two project, another large project, 3 to 4 month project. David, sorry, but we got to put a hold on this. We've lost a lot of money in the last few days. Unbelievable. It is what it is. So after that bad news, I got on and I'm checking all the different airlines and checking here and checking that. You got to compare, right? If you're going to fly, because the prices have gone up, right? And the Canadian dollar dropped, and it's just a mess out there. So, anyways, I had like I think 4 windows or 5 windows, Skyscanner and Expedia and this and that, and I was using my VPN to put I was in the Philippines and put here and checking prices and all that. And my mind is like going a mile a minute. It's like it's trying to. I've gotten papers I'm writing down because I can keep track so much. Right, you got all these windows you're opening up, and you get timed out. Right, so you got to be back in to keep it up, and you got to look at the date and the flights, and you got to compare. Right, you're doing a comparison. Oh my gosh! If you've ever done it, you know what I'm talking about. This is what I don't understand. For the freaking same flight, we're talking about the same plane I'm going to be getting on from 4 different providers. Okay, 4 different providers, 4 different prices. Does it make any sense? It doesn't make any sense to me. I know that they get sold. So I know Philippine Airlines, for example, sell off so many seats to whoever, Expedia or whoever. They sell off so many. Same as Cebu Pacific and other airlines. They sell off so many and they have. Anyways, a few hours of going through all that, I finally got the one. So it's not just the problem of flying, leaving. I leave from Pearson which is Toronto, Pearson Airport. It's not just leaving. There's no direct flight to, for example, Dumaguete, Bohol, or a lot of Iloilo places. You have to go either fly into Manila or you have to fly into Cebu, and then you have to get an onward. Well, the problem with a lot of those onwards. So Hummingbird says Air Canada has now a direct flight to the Philippines. Wow. When did that happen? Is that happening from Toronto? Because I didn't get any of that from Toronto. I had it going to, so I did get a direct flight. So not through Air Canada, I got through Philippine Airlines to Manila. And I ended up going with Air Canada before, and I actually had to fly out to Calgary and then from Calgary to Manila. It made no sense. So the whole airport thing is still a crapshoot. So you're doing a return. So I'm not just doing a flight there. I'm doing a return back. Sometimes I didn't do that one time and I had problems. Hummingbird says, I'm just teasing you. This is from YVR. Okay. Okay. YVR. Okay. So, have you gone to the Philippines? Are you from Canada? Because if you know what I'm sharing, you know what I'm having to deal with, right? With all the windows open and comparing. So I found one that is from the flight from Canada and getting to my destinations, which will be in Bohol, Tagublaran, 21 hours. So that's with the layover. So the layover is in Manila. I tried to go into Cebu, couldn't get it into Cebu. The flight out, it was like 10 hours layover. I was like, yeah, no, I'm not doing a 35-hour, 40-hour. So I'm flying into Manila. And then from Manila, I have a little bit of a layover and then right to Tagublaran, Bohol. So that's, I think it was 20 and a half, 21 hours. I think that's what it is. So now you've got that done. Now you have to have your return if you're going to do a return ticket, which I ended up doing it. Lexus Marie, viewing from the Philippines. Well, hello, Lexus. That's my girlfriend. Hi, babe. I love you. Anyways, now you have to get the return flight back. That's the return flight coming back, right? Well, just because I got the 20 or 21 hour going there, now what's it going to be coming back? Holy crap, guys. 30 hours, 35 hours, 40 hours. Are you kidding me? Wanting me to go down to San Francisco. I'd never fly into the States right now. If you're in Canada, don't fly into the States. You don't want to go to El Salvador jail. Yeah, stay away from the States right now. Nothing against my American friends. I love you guys, but what's going on? Yeah, stay away from the US right now. So I'm not going to the US. I could say 500-600 going that route. Yeah, not happening. So I finally found one. And I think coming back, I think it is 22 hours. So all in all, I'm happy. Pricing right now. So get this, at the very beginning, for that 20 hours, that 20 hours was, or 21 hours, showed 2,000. Okay, that's awesome. 2,000 for a return flight. I'm okay with that. Well, it's not. Because as soon as you go to your return, right? There's no 2,000. Anyways, end of the day, I paid 2,500 for a return flight. So that's pretty well what I paid last year. So I'm okay with that. Lexa says, I love you too, David. Enjoy what you're doing. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Appreciate that. She had a brownout earlier, so we had problems with it, and I haven't done a live in a long time. So I said, you know what, I'm going to do a live. So then I'm trying to get set up for the live, and she calls me. What are you? Where are you going? Because I put this on. And I showed her I'm going to do live, and she's got a lot of stuff to do. She's going to mass and that today, and doing some other things. And so here I am live. Do the live. Oh yeah, lots of fun. So going back in regards to the flights, um, I was looking at just flying to Manila and then getting my own flight from onward, but the delays and the pricing didn't make sense. So I went into Cebu Pacific. I went to Philippine Airlines. I do domestic, and uh, once I was doing all that, I think one point I was breaking even, but I think the times were messed up. So I just decided to do the complete package. So it's done. So normally I've been going there and spending, what is it? So I'm usually going in there in October. So October, November, December, January, February. So I'm coming back in February because I have my show in March. So I'm going there 5 months. So this year I'm going there just under 6 months. So anyone knows if you're going to the Philippines, uh, you're allowed up to the 6 months. If you stay any more than that, you have to get an exit clearance. So I didn't want to deal with that. Also, if you are from Canada, you have to be in Canada for 6 months to keep your health card, your all that stuff. So yeah, I don't want to lose any of that. I can move to the Philippines and I get everything else, no issues, but it's just my health benefits, and I don't want to lose those right now. I'm not ready to do that. So I just stay under that 6 months, come back to do my show. If I do the show, don't know yet if I'm going to do the show. Not sure yet. I do end up doing. I pay for health insurance, so I go through Blue Cross. There's quite a few guys that talk of some guys that are in Dumageddon and that. Mike does insurance and that, and I had him quote for me. He was pretty close to the price that I got, but I have 10 million Canadian, and I think he was only giving me 5 million, and I have no deductible. And so, anyways, I'm happy with what I have. Touch wood. I've never had any issues while being in the Philippines. I make sure I'm fully insured. I know a lot of people self-insure, but yeah, I don't want to be doing that when I'm in the Philippines. So self-insuring to me, yeah, I just get the insurance and I feel good, and then nothing happens, right? I don't have any problems. I haven't had any issues every time I've gone there, right? And if you are going to go away, if you don't have the money to do insurance, don't go away. Stay home, right? Because your health is very important. You want to be protected, right? If something does happen, and you have to check to make sure whatever insurance company that you are using, the provider, is it's recognized in the Philippines. Don't just get anybody. Make sure it's recognized. So the company that I deal with, they actually even have an office right there in Dumaguete, right down on Rizzo Boulevard. So, right. So, yeah, insurance wise, I think, well, I haven't gotten the price for 2025, but my last one was, I think it was around $800 for the 5 months. Even less than that. That may have been $800 for my ex-girlfriend when she came to Canada because I had to get her insurance, health insurance, when she came to Canada. Uh, it was good that she got to experience Canada. She has a 10-year visa, so she's free to come to Canada. And she got to experience Canada. I took her around to a lot of places, so she got to experience what it was like. From my feelings, she really didn't like Canada that much for whatever reasons. I don't know. That's all right. I think she felt it was. I think she's missing. I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, off of that topic, right? Yeah, looking forward to getting back to the Philippines. I went to Davao for the first time. Wow, I was impressed. So, flying into Davao, when you come out of the airport, there aren't any, there isn't anyone there trying to give you a ride, picking you up to give you a ride. Nobody. Not like going to Cebu and they're all, oh, I have a deal, oh, this deal, oh, that deal, it's crazy. Like they're coming after you, like it's yeah, it's if you've been to Cebu Airport, you know what I'm talking about. Well, Davao, no, they call for a driver, and the driver picks you up, and they're automatically already on the meter. And when you go to leave, the security at the exit takes their information and who is in the vehicle and give you paper to do a follow-up if the driver was good. Holy moly, was that ever nice. It was nice not trying to be ripped off, right? I still remember when we went to Cebu to do the visa and trying to get ripped off. 500, 1,000, 1,500. Are you kidding me? Right? We finally got through all these people, and it was 130 guys, 130 pesos, and these guys are trying to get us for 500, 1,000, 1,500. They really need to clamp down on these guys. They really need to clamp down on them big time because it doesn't make the Philippines look good. It's a bad image for the good people. It's the same as when we landed in Dumaguete. So the last time when I went to Dumaguete, I always walk out to the main street. They do have guys that will try. They're all trying to take advantage. Skin tax. I don't really look at skin tax. I just look at it as being dishonest. When they know a fare should be 150 to 200 pesos, don't try to charge 500 pesos. That's just not proper. It doesn't matter what color your skin is. Be a proper person. So when we ended up got there, uh, when I arrived in Dumaguete with my now ex-girlfriend, it was pour. It wasn't when we landed. It was just dribbling, but man, when we got into there, it was pouring down cats and dogs. We didn't get to walk out on the street. I think we paid. It's in a video. Oh, I may have taken that video down. I don't know. I think we paid 300. I was like, yeah, I'm all right. It's pouring rain. We got our stuff, right? So it should have only been 2 to 250, but we paid 300. Whatever. At least it wasn't 500 or 1,000. Dumaguete, I really like Dumaguete. I never planned on living in Dumaguete, but I really like Dumaguete. I would have lived in Bacolod, Is it Bacolod? Maybe it's not. Anyways, close to Valencia and Darwin. That's the areas that I had interest in regards of living. Some places in San Jose, Cebu land, not so bad. But for whatever reason, I was leaning more to that, mainly because of the beaches down in Darwin area. Critter Hunter Republic, they have their dive shop, and all along that area, it's great beaches, lots of walking. You go out snorkeling, and you get to see lots of stuff. So obviously that didn't happen. Dumaguete, I got really used to going to the wet market shopping, uh, dealing with the same vendors, which were very nice and not trying to take advantage of me. So that was very nice. The tricycle drivers, even my ex-girlfriend, they would try to take advantage of her. They try to take advantage of everyone if they're a bad person. I remember I was down on Rizzo Boulevard, and I was at the Moon Cafe, and I wanted to ride from there to Robinson Mall. So if you've been in Dumaguete, you know that the actual minimum fare cost from that area to Robinson is 25 to 30 pesos per head, per person. This guy, ride, sir? Ride, sir? Yes. Where are you going? Robinson Mall. Oh, that's a special ride. A special ride? You talk about it's Robinson. It's not a special ride. So right off the bat, I knew this guy was going to he's trying to scam me, right? I said to him, I said, look, man, I'm from here. It's not a special ride. I do want to ride there. What's your price? I wasn't going to get in. So a lot of times, here's a tip, what I learned. When a tricycle driver comes and picks you up, you just get in. If you go to get in the tricycle, before he goes, how much you going to pay? Tell him to go. He's going to try to rip you off. If you get in there and he tries to negotiate, get out of the tricycle. He's trying to rip you off, right? The proper ones, which there are a lot of proper ones, but you just got to find them, right? You got to be coming by when you need the ride. They don't say anything. How much? And they're happy. And I usually, if 25, I'm usually giving, I think it's usually 50 or 60 I'm giving, right? We're talking the Boulevard to Robinson, right? Anyways, this guy, he's going on and on and on. So I pulled out my camera. So I want to interview you. Oh, as soon as I pulled out to interview him, oh, he's gone. I'm out of here. Yeah, scammer. You're out of here, all right. Hummingbird, the 2500 return is very much the standard. I have heard from Toronto, Manila, YRV, the Manila airport direct is 1600 month of June. Wow. 1600. Wow. 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 That's a huge savings. That is huge. Yeah, I wasn't privy of that. Yeah, last year I ended up doing a June booking, and you were saying it's just this year. Last year I never got, but that's just going to Manila though, right? So because Air Canada doesn't take you anywhere else, so that's just going to Manila Airport. I'm flying for that 2500 just so that it's understandable. 2500 is I'm flying to my destination. So I'm flying to Manila and then onward to my destination. And then when I'm returning, I'm leaving from my destination, which will be Bohol, to Manila, then to Toronto. So I think reading yours, and you can clarify the 1600. I believe what you're sharing is only Toronto to Manila and a return, because Air Canada doesn't fly anywhere else within the Philippines. you have to take AirAsia or Cebu or Philippine Airlines. Yeah, probably add 200 to Dumaguete. Yeah, and then another 200 return back. So that's 400. So now you're up to 2,000. So that's still a savings. That's still a great savings. If you can also get not much of a delay. So what I found when and I haven't looked at this deal that you're sharing right now, obviously, but when I was looking at Air Canada on my flights all across there, the connecting flights were the problem. All the connecting flights was huge delays. They weren't 20-hour flight time for me getting to my destination, right? They, on the average, the 16 and a half hours or 16 and 40 minutes. I think that's 16, whatever, from Toronto to Manila. But there was a long layover uh, waiting to get to my next destination. So going through all the different ones, and I saw, obviously I'm not seeing the June because it's not June yet, right? And with all the windows on that I had opened up, I was looking at the best timing. I don't want 35 hours. You know, maybe some people are all right with 35 hours. Yeah, I don't want 35 hours. So I spent a little more money. I could have saved 500 to 600 if I would have went up to the 30 hours. But I've got 20 and a half hours or 21 hours for getting to Bohol, landing. So, but yeah, that's very interesting. Always learn something new. I'm going to check that out come June. I already have my stuff booked, but I'm going to check it out once it comes for June, just to do a comparison for myself to educate myself. But I appreciate you sharing that. Networking is the best. And if you, I don't know what you do for insurance, for health insurance, for covering yourself, but if you want to do a comparison, you can email me and I can give you the information and you just email my broker directly to get a rate. You'll have to do a questionnaire because they want to know, obviously basic things about you. But two people that I've sent, both said, yeah, the providers recognized in the Philippines, the 10 million, everything was, yeah, they saved money. They were very happy in regards of going through the broker. So broker is actually in Nova Scotia, the email message, right? The person. But yeah, if you're going to the Philippines and you don't have your own insurance and you want to just do a comparable, send me an email. You can go into my thing and click down for the email and send me off an email and just say, yeah, Dave, I was on your live. And if you could send me the information for health insurance, I'd like to check it out. You just do it on your own. There's nothing involved with me. I'll give you that information. But yeah, when June comes, I'm definitely going to check that out, right, in relation to that. And I actually, on my um, mine also, I've got the protection of canceling. So, I could hypothetically cancel. I get all my money back, but yeah. Do you really want to? I could go through my credit card and I would get it back right away. So I'm just thinking about it. I put it on my credit card. I always put, so that's one of the tips. Always put your payment on your credit card. Because I have my agreement that I have a cancellation if I want to cancel or if I want to change also my flight. I did that part. That's within my 2,500 that I paid because that's very important to me for going there and coming back, right? because if you happen to get sick or something happen, if you need to change it a little bit. But I have that. So once it comes June, I'm going to do that comparison. And if there's that much of a difference, which I will be very happy to save money. I'm all about saving some money, especially on flying. As long as it's within that same flight time, that 20 to 21 hours, I'm good to go. I'll be very happy. I remember the first time I flew, and I did a video of this, and it's actually in there. I flew, oh my goodness, 35 hours because I was like, oh, I want to save some money and 35 hours. I'm okay with it. Oof, I'd never do that again. Maybe you're really young and the jet lag doesn't bother you and walking through a lot of different airports. Yeah, no, direct flight for me. I'll pay the little extra money and get a direct flight. I'm shocked how expensive they want for business class. I don't have any connections for business class. So anybody out there watching this, if you have connections for business class, yeah, please email me because for me, I would like the business class on the line, but I am not paying 6,000 or 6,500. I am not paying 5,000. I'm sorry, no. It's not that I don't have the money. I just not gonna do it. Oh, so you're saying Hummingbird, Air Canada. So I just booked my flight. This I just booked it a couple days ago, and I had Air Canada on. So they didn't have anything comparable. They were, I think, with Air Canada, they were the flight times was my problem. It wasn't so much the price; it was getting my onward flight. Once I got to Manila, to get to my destination to Bohol. And also leaving Bohol, the layover, I think in Manila was like 12 or 14 hours. I was like, are you kidding me? I'm not flying an hour and a half from Bohol to Manila to sit there for 10 or 12 hours to wait for my next flight, right? Yeah, not happening. So that's something you really got to check out. Where are you going? Because obviously you're sharing going to Manila. From where are you going? Where's your connecting flight to? So if it's the same deal that you were sharing, that deal, uh, it wasn't. I never saw any 1,600. I saw 2,000. I saw 2,000, but 35 hours, 35-hour flight time. I wasn't doing a 35-hour flight time to save $500. Yeah, no, thank you. Both ways? Yeah, no way, man. It's too hard on me. I just doing it that first time. I would never do it again, ever. Right? But yeah, anyone out there, if they've got any connections for that business class, I'm all there. Every time when before you're gonna fly out, oh, we got this. They're emailing you, upgrade, 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 and then you can bid to get first class. Well, I think I bid it up to uh, 1,000 or 50. I think it went up to 1,500. I still didn't get it. So it would have cost me, yeah, I still didn't get it. And that was only one way. You only get it one way. You'd have to try to get it again coming back. It is painful because it's like, here's the thing. I think it's a mindset for me. I can afford to do the business class, but my mind, I ain't doing it, man. I'm not doing it. Right? And you got to walk past it, right? You walk past it. You walk past it and go back to the other seats, right? It's like, yeah, they look good, but yeah, I don't know what it is. It's like, I guess the thing is like, so for example, when I was in Dumaguete, I was living close to Port Royal Water Park, if you know where that is. So that's close, relatively close to Robinson Mall. Robinson Place, Dumaguete. We know Robinsons, right? If you've been in Dumaguete. So just kind of half a kilometer down, it's Port Royal. And you would turn left to go to the water resort there, swimming pool. It's a very nice place. I'd walk from there all the way downtown. So Hummingbird says, heading to Dumaguete, arrive in Manila at 4:15 a.m. and Cebu Pacific 8:40. I think I still have to book my domestic. Yes, you still have to book your domestic. That was the problem. That's what the problem was for me. It was either an hour, only an hour, and I would no way take a chance of it being that close of an hour, or it was like a lot of time, a lot of time. So how long do you usually go to, so heading to Dumaguete, arriving. So how long do you stay in Dumaguete for? How often have you gone to Dumaguete? So as I was chatting before you messaged that. So when I was in Dumaguete, I would actually walk down to the boardwalk. I'd walk to Hypermart. I'd walk to down to the wet market instead of taking a trike. It's a good exercise. Coming back, coming back was the workout though, especially in the heat and carrying heavy stuff, the bananas and grapes and mangoes, and don't dare get a watermelon, right? Because freaking things are so heavy. But I found the worst was, and I started taking knapsack. Knapsack was took a while to click in, but even putting the knapsack on your back, you're sweating, right? So hot. So it's like, so what I was getting at, so instead of me paying 30 pesos, whatever it was, to go down, I'd walk. So that's the same as when I get on the airplane. I'm on the airplane. Okay, yes, it's more comfy, but I'm not paying. If I did a return, I would be paying, I, I think it was 13,000. 13,000, I think it was. Return. I think that's what it was, 13,000 compared to 2,500. Yeah. Not happening. Even like I said, even at that 1,500, I was like, yeah, I don't even want to spend the 1,500 on it. So whereabouts in Dumaguete, Hummingbird, do you end up staying? What time if you're arriving at 4:45 a.m. in Manila, what time are you leaving in from Toronto? I have my stuff on another paper. I don't have it handy here. I don't have it handy. The layovers is what gets me. I don't mind the flying, but it's the layovers in the airports. Like Manila seems to be can be on average 10, 12 hour, 14, 16 hour layovers. I don't know how it's possible. It doesn't make any sense to me, right? The the issue with if you're booking your own, so what do we have here? This time I will take only 1 month. I was there in Dumaguete, November 2024 to April 15th, 2020. I stay part Dumaguete, but most is, oh, very nice. You're from Vancouver. Okay. Nice. Nice. So you're leaving from Vancouver. So that's a big difference than leaving from Toronto. Yeah, your entire situation is different. You should be able to get there quicker than I can from Toronto. Or are you having to fly to Toronto? That would be too funny. I have friends in the US that flew to Vancouver and then from Vancouver flew down to Manila. As I mentioned earlier, I flew to Calgary once, I flew to Vancouver another time, and then to Manila. And then my last flight was direct from Toronto to Manila, and the same coming back was direct. And this time, same, right from Toronto, right to Manila. And when I come back, the same. But I've gone through the same provider, so they're setting up all of the other flights, which are within that 20 and a half hours, 21 hours. That's what I look for when I'm looking to fly myself personally. I want as low destination time as possible. So if you're going this time, it'll take 1 month. So if you're going into Dumaguete, so your key thing is what are you comfortable with getting into Dumaguete flight time? So that includes your flight getting to Manila, getting onto your next flight, and getting into Dumaguete. Journeys in Bohol. Hi, all from the West Coast. I found EV Air the best option, shortest duration. I heard that also, but I can't get that here. I couldn't get it from Toronto. I, yeah, just, I, yeah, it wasn't coming up in regards of a good option for me for flight time. So I don't know if it's the Pearson Airport. That's the issue, regulating. I don't know what it is. This flying is a pain in the butt. Before the pandemic, it was so simple, man. Before the pandemic, when I was looking to go to the Philippines, a return flight was under $1,000. 14 and a half hour direct flight. What happened to all that? We know. Somebody's making a lot of money, right? So have you journeys in Bohol? Are you West Coast found? Are you from Canada or are you actually from the Philippines? And are you in Bohol? Because that's where I'm flying to now. That's where I came out of flying, and that's where I will be flying. I like to avoid Manila, go straight to Cebu. Yes, I agree, Cebu, but I couldn't get the flight that I wanted. I couldn't get it. I tried everything to go into Cebu, but it was the flight duration was the problem for me from Toronto. Where are you flying from? Are you flying from Canada, Toronto? Because I couldn't get it into Cebu. I didn't want to go to Manila. We migrated in 2022. Good for you. And are you in Bohol? Are you in Bohol? My girlfriend is in Dallas. I love Bohol. I have her family is all from Luan. Lots of friends within the Dallas area. We are from Southern California. Okay, LAX. Okay, yeah. So LAX again, you would be able to. So there was flights. So there was flight for me to go down to use Eva Air from the, but because of all the crap that's going on right now, yeah, I was no way risking going into the U.S. I don't want to go to end up in El Salvador prison because someone doesn't like me or pick me out. Yeah, there's just too much crap going on. So I wanted to avoid going to the US. I could save five to $600 traveling the US. So whereabouts in Bohol are you living? 2022, nice. That was just all during the pandemic. You were you caught there? Because I couldn't get in 2022. We were still not open. So you were already there during the pandemic, right? Oh, nice. Buena Vista Bohol. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, nice. Yeah, nice. So are you in a house or is there condos there? Are you in a house or condos? Yeah, I love Bohol. Well, if you watch some of the videos, you'll see places I've been in and around Bohol, and there's still lots of lots of exploring. My girlfriend being from there is educating me, which is great. I love to learn. There's a lot of gorgeous beaches in Bohol. People I never knew. The first time when I went visiting Bohol, I never knew there was such amazing beaches there now that I know of. Hopefully, you're not having any problems with Rich View. You know who they are, right? I have we have friends that have no water for months because of Rich View. uh, and we ended up well, I ended up rented a house, supposed to be a high-end house. We got there, there's no water, and they just had pails full. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not paying you guys all this money for having to dip water to do everything. Yeah, no, not happening. Oh, nice. So you're building a second house, hilltop house. We have, oh, wow, nice. Wow, that's very nice. Over 3 hectares. That's wow. And how is that? So is because I don't know is, and I haven't looked. So who is the native? Who is it? Is it yourself or is it your? Because I don't know if this is a male or a female right now who I'm speaking with, who's messaging. So who is the local Philippine? Because I'm sure 3 hectares. You either did you already have that? Likely already, right? Because the property is skyrocketed, right? We bought. Oh, there you go. 15 years ago. Yeah, yeah. You did very well. Very congratulations. Congrats. Congrats to you. Yeah, the property is skyrocketing now. That same property that was selling for, what, 100, per square meter is now like 10,000. Well, it depends on where you are. 35. It just depends on where you are in Bohol, right? You can still up in the hills. I don't know exactly where you are. My wife is from. Yeah, there you go. So, yeah, yeah, yeah. You don't want to be looking at pricing for 3 hectares right now. That would set you back a lot of money. So I'm very happy for you. Congrats on that. So what stage? You said building a second. So what stage are you at your home? So if I go on to your journeys in Bahal, are you on YouTube and doing this house? 200K pesos now worth. Oh yeah, 200K. You got 3 hectares for 200K. Yeah, it's worth millions. It is literally 3 hectares. 3 hectares. Well, it depends on where it is, right? Right. But even if it was, yeah, you're still looking. Yeah, you did very well. Do you have a cement road access right to your property front? So I haven't checked out your journeys in Bohol. Is that a YouTube channel? You can plug your channel here for people to subscribe. So my girlfriend says it's from the north side of Bohol, Luan. See, because she's a realtor, she knows. She knows. Uh, So what do you think? Was that a good deal? 3 hectares for around 200K pesos 15 years ago. Now it's worth millions. We know, right? It all depends on where, right? That's a good place. Oh, that's a good place also. Oh, that's awesome. It's good. So I don't know where that is. So where is that, Mar? Whereabouts is that? Give me an idea. Journeys in Bahal. Yes, Northwest. Wow, congratulations, 15 years ago. Yeah, congrats, eh? Yeah. I always, I love it when I hear about people doing amazing things like that. Very, very proud of you. Don't even know you, and I'm proud of you. uh, between Inbego and yeah, I still won't even know. My girlfriend, Lexus Marie, she will know where that is. I'm a newbie to Bahal, so yeah. You're lucky if you can have it now for 1 million. So whereabouts is this area that Journeys in Bahal is referring to? Are whereabouts is it? Yes, right between that town. But for me, Mar, because I don't know Bahal very well. Is it towards? Luan, or the opposite way, or where is it? Yes, right between the town. Towards David? What do you mean towards David? What do you mean, Mara, towards David? Oh, wow, look at that. It's 11:54. Oh my goodness, it's past my bedtime. I just looked up. I'm wondering why I'm starting to feel a little tired, right? And I looked up and it's like 10:54. We are straight across from Cebu City, and you can see Cebu from our upper deck. So nice. Okay, well, it's way past my bedtime. I usually go to bed at 10 o'clock, and it's 10:55. I appreciate everyone who's come to the live. I know there's still a few people hanging on, and I will check out. Songbird, yeah, avoid the U.S. My nephew crossed the border going to Seattle and was interrogated, as it shows in his system, that he had a canceled flight, Alex, Manila, 6 years ago, and he had to. Oh yeah, oh yes, yeah. Unfortunately, if you're from Canada, avoid the U.S. right now. And Lex says you'll pass 5 towns from Loon going to their place. Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, guys. I'm saying good night. I appreciate everybody coming to the live and sharing. And Journeys in Bohol, you didn't mention if that's a website or not, but I'm gonna check it out. And I don't know if you have a house build on there, but we'll see. All right. So again, thank you, everyone. I really appreciate it, and I hope you have a great day, a great evening, wherever you are. See you later. Bye for now.